In today's Farm Report, the Waters of the United States rule, an EPA regulation, went into effect at 12:01 Friday morning. I was able to speak with Kevin Papp at the Minnesota State Fair about the ruling where a North Dakota judge put a temporary injunction in prohibiting the rule in 13 states.
Well, it doesn't mean anything for Minnesota farmers because that injunction only involved 13 states. It wasn't Minnesota. So Minnesota and 37 other states, that rule is in effect. It was started in effect 12:01 last Friday morning, and that's going to drastically change how we do things in agriculture. And the problem is there's too much uncertainty as far as what is a water of the U.S., what is not a water of the U.S., how do I know that? So we've got some real concerns, and this is really not about water quality. This is about property rights.
And the rule has some major concerns from ag groups. Papp points those out for the American farmer.
It is, and as we're concerned about being within 4,000 feet, that's a long ways across a field, across a pasture, across anything. So have some real concerns, and really the number one thing we've got is the legal risk. You're not going to know if it's a navigable, or if it's a water of the U.S. You know if it's a navigable water because you can float a boat on it. So there's a lot of concern. We really believe the Clean Water Act, they had it right. This is end around Congress. This is an end around the Supreme Court, and they're going around Congress. And it's really the Supreme Court has said it's the state's job to take care of water quality on those that are not navigable. So we've got real concerns. We're going to continue to work on it, not only with lawsuits. We've got lawsuits, 30 states, 14 organizations in a lawsuit. But we also have legislation. We're going to do everything we can to convince Senator Klobuchar, Senator Franken, that they need to support the Water Quality Protection Act, just like they did in the House. Let's stop this and let's do it right.
And the Minnesota State Fair is ongoing now through Labor Day. Kevin Papp talks about what are some of the issues that folks who stop at the Minnesota Farm Bureau building are talking about.
Well, I think the issues that we talk to folks at the fair, the consumers, there's no better place than to talk to an awful lot of folks in one spot. Is they want to know about food. They want to know about how the food that they eat, it's animals. The state fair is all about animals, whether it be FFA or 4-H projects, how those animals were cared for. They want to know about the crops, what type of crops, how do you grow the crops. Certainly want to have questions about biotechnology and other things. So it's a great opportunity to talk about who the farm families are and what we do to care for the livestock, care for the animals, as well as the crops.
Kevin Papp, president of the Minnesota Farm Bureau Federation, talking about the recent ruling on the Waters of the United States Act and what it means for Minnesota farmers, and what visitors to the Minnesota State Fair can expect when they stop by the Minnesota Farm Bureau building. The USDA's Commodity Credit Corporation released its September lending rates yesterday. The CCC borrowing rate-based interest charge for September is set at 0.375%. Crop year commodity loans for less than 1 year is set at 1.375%. More information can be found at fsa.usda.gov or by calling your local Farm Service Agency office.